You know, these videos aren't for kids. If you aren't at least 18 or are easily offended, you should probably click off. We here at Dual Wield accept no responsibility for your children. So if you are an adult who sat your kids down to watch our videos, you should be ashamed. Anyway, back to the video.
Greetings, my loyal subjects. It is I, the Prince of All Saints, Vegeta Almighty, back with another episode of Dual Wield Wednesdays. And today, we have a very special guest with us. Instead of my normal co-host, I have Shady Angel. Say hello to the nice people at home.
Hi, guys.
Jin will not be joining us for this particular episode, mostly because A, he's a Scrooge McDuck, Grinch, bah humbug type. And also because we did record an episode, but the audio was completely destroyed. So, yeah. A little bit of behind the scenes there. So, Shady, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Crimbo.
Of course we are, because what time of year is it? It's Crimbo time. It's the holiday season. And what better way to celebrate than by talking about how we celebrate? So... first and foremost, are we wanting to try any of the Cocos, or are we saving that for another episode?
I mean, it's up to you. I'm not getting up from my spot right now. I found the perfect spot.
So we'll just put that off then until a later date. Psst, psst, sneak peek. Be on the lookout for that. But I just kind of wanted to have a short little chit chat with you about any good Christmas memories that you have, and I just recount some of our tales of Crimbo and some of our favorite memories and stories that we have from Crimbo. So I feel like it be best. I usually do all the talking around here, so I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna actually let you tell us a little bit about your Crimbo experience in life.
Yeah, thanks. So I have a huge love of Crimbo. It's my favorite holiday. So I've had kind of a rough childhood, but Crimbo has always been good. There has been very few times it wasn't stellar, and that was when I was in foster care, but even then it was good. It just wasn't Family Eyes. I grew up with decorations, music. My favorite Christmas movie is Christmas Vacation. I know it sounds weird because everybody else's are freaking the old movies.
Foreshadowing. What?
Can you even hear that?
Maybe.
Okay. But yeah, most of the time we had Christmas Eve big meal, and then everybody gets up early in the morning, Christmas morning, and we go and have presents. And if the kids got up way earlier than the adults, then they were allowed to get their stocking, but nothing else. And then we had leftovers for lunch from the day before. We'd go either skiing or snowboarding or sledding, or just I lived with snow, so it was a big thing for me. It's always been a happy time, and I don't always have happy memories of being a kid,
Yeah, that's a... wow, my microphone just cut off. What the world?
Pause.
No, that's a relatable story. I can relate to that, It's no secret I've had my issues in the past with my childhood as well. We won't really go into them. Maybe a later date if we do like a draw my life or a life story, something later on down the
Well,
line. But nobody really wants to hear about my backstory right now.
oh, I was gonna say, I mean, yours is very similar to mine, though.
Very similar, yeah, in a lot of ways. But
To the point that both of our moms are bipolar. It's great.
yeah, absolutely. So, I do remember though. I do have very fond memories of. I can't really think of too many Crimbos I had where, or too many Christmases I've had. Yeah, I said it. I know.
Blasphemy! It's Crimbo.
Whatever. I can't think of too many of December 25ths that that I've had that were truly miserable.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
I have one, but it was truly miserable for a very good reason. My oldest son was born Christmas morning.
Jesus Lord, have mercy.
So painful.
Well, I feel like that's a bit of a different story. For me, like I said, I can't think of too many that were just flat out bad. No, I really can't think of any that were just straight up just terrible. I mean, last one wasn't that bad because I got to see everybody's faces. I had some issues on that day itself. And even the one before when I was going through, I at least got to spend it with you guys, and I don't think I think maybe the worst, quote unquote, was when in 2013, 2014, one of those two, I was living with King Vegeta Almighty, and we were staying with other people as well, and I was basically sleeping on a couch. But even then, my dad, he decided to just, find some way to make it up to me. Things were really tight, things were really tough. And even in that, he still managed he brought me home some Taco Bell, and he slid me $20, and he bought me some new shoes. And, even on, in a terrible financial situation with his 19-year-old son, or no, 19 or 20, whatever year old son at the time, he still found a way to make his Christmas. He actually made my Christmas by doing that. So I can't really think of too many times where I've had even really bad, like even subpar Christmases. I've had some pretty great Christmases, and I think a lot of that too comes from just and that's why I love it so much, is because it's such a, for lack of a better word, magical time of year where it feels like anything can happen to turn that day around and make it for the better.
Yeah, well, I've had one Christmas to kind of go with you that wasn't the greatest, and it was when we moved into our first apartment, and we could not do Christmas for the Sprout, who at the time was like 3. And he had been going to school, and they told him all about Christmas, and he was super excited, but we had absolutely no money to do it. We barely made bills that month, and it was just really, really difficult. I woke up the next morning to a friend of mine had come over in the middle of the night, woke Jen up, and put the tree up for us, and had brought presents for the Sprout. So, like, it was just like my own little Christmas miracle, but it was so hard, like, the days before it happened. It was so difficult, and it was difficult for everybody involved in the situation, because my mom had moved in with us by that point, and everything. We were just kind of stuck because of how everything had happened. So that's the only one that I can kind of say really was like a struggle for me. And
Right.
then, giving birth Christmas Day was not exactly.
I can see that one. I can forgive that one.
That one.
But you got the greatest gift of all.
Yeah, okay, I will agree, except for I was in labor for 7 days.
But you got the greatest gift of them all.
And he was 10 pounds, 6 ounces.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be honest, I mean, it was rough. But, anyways, sorry I interrupted.
No, you're fine. But kind of getting off of the tangent of the negative side of things. Hello. Anyway, let's kind of get into the opposite end of that spectrum. What are some of and try to come up with 3. And that's kind of going to be what I'm aiming for. Try to come up with 3 Christmases that you would say are peak, top tier, hands down the best Christmases ever for you.
1 being last year.
Really?
Yeah. I get the left outness, you know?
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love everybody, I'm the one that organizes everything. Typically, I'm the one that, doesn't. I don't mind not getting anything, but I just kind of get left out,
Yeah.
And you made sure that I had something I really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because mine had broke.
Right.
And you paid attention to the fact that that's something I really wanted. I had no expectations to get anything. I really didn't need anything.
For the listener's sake, tell them what it was that you're referring to.
So, he got me the OLED switch because mine had come apart, literally.
The Joy-Con rail had fallen off of the Switch itself.
So, it was really hard to play anything unless I was using a controller. But other people needed things before me. So I just utilized what I had and didn't complain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I know you and I had talked about how I really wanted a new one because I couldn't play any shared games. None of that.
Yeah.
And you made sure that I had it. Now, not saying that Jen didn't do anything nice for me, but you listened basically to what I really was looking forward to. And you actually gave me an option on it, which I like the fact that you also were like, now, would you prefer this kind of type thing, or would you prefer that? Because nobody asks me that kind of stuff. And
it still ended up being a surprise, too.
It did. And you asked me what game I really, really, really wanted. Because that was the other part of the present that he gave me. I had been, for the last several years, wanting to get God of War Ragnarok. I just hadn't been able to afford it. And, boom. That was it for Christmas. And I wasn't expecting that one. The other one, you asking me what kind of thing, I kind of expected you to get into that, But, it was a good surprise, and I don't like surprises, so.
I'm usually pretty good at that. I remember that was the year I got you. I didn't think I was going to be able to follow myself up that Christmas for what I had done earlier in the year.
Yeah, so, do you want to tell him?
I'll let you tell him.
So, again, he noticed that I literally put everything on the back burner for everybody. I'm a mom. So, my focus isn't always on my wants or my needs, right?
Your needs, let alone your wants.
Right. I'm always putting stuff back at, checkout because, I could get something else that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody and their brother was taking my PlayStation from me.
Between your husband and your child, yeah.
I didn't play my PlayStation for like, what, 2 months, 3 months, because they were playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
And, and I don't mind for the most part, you know. And I'm not like saying it just to be, you know, pacifist. And I knew they were having fun. My son's autistic, my youngest, and he, you know, that was something that he did to kind of get some of that stemming energy out. Otherwise, you know, we had temper tantrums and stuff. But I didn't get to play anything unless it was like late at night when I can't sleep. And then there's nobody to kind of talk to about it. And it just wasn't as fun. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm an insomniac from hell. And literally, I have a medical condition for it. And that's fine, but I didn't have anything I could play with other people on. And I had to keep, like, deleting my stuff off of it.
You were also just really down at the time, too.
I was. And it was my birthday, which I never get to celebrate my birthday. That was the thing that also made me, like, super happy, is that somebody made a big deal out of it for me. Yeah. Because I really haven't celebrated my birthday since I was probably, like, an actual celebration. I had one while I was in foster care. So 15 was the last time I had any kind of, like, birthday thing, right?
We all know the last time I celebrated my birthday.
I did try to get your stuff.
Oh, I'm saying I made a big deal out of it. I streamed for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I meant, like, to try to get...
I know you did.
But
anyways. You guys did. Anyway, go
ahead. So, you... And it's nothing against my husband. Please don't... He is just really bad about planning things.
He doesn't think very well outside of in the moment, and it's clear to see. You guys can clearly see that. Again, that's not a knock at him. That's just a fact of his personality, which is, like I said, not a dig, but that's just how he is.
But anyways, so you made my birthday pretty special by surprising me supremely. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you surprised me with it, because I wouldn't have accepted it any other way.
Yeah, that's how I knew I had to surprise you.
But I ended up getting the PlayStation 5. Mm-hmm. Like I said, for me, I've won. My game, 2 of the games that I absolutely were looking forward to in the next year at that time was exclusively PlayStation 5. And that was the Jedi Survivor. And what was the other one? There was one more that was exclusively, and I can't think of the name.
One of the Horizons, wasn't it?
Yes, thank you. Horizon Forbidden West. So I wasn't able, like, I wouldn't have been able to play them, and I really was kind of crushed because the Horizon franchise is narrowly... No, actually, I would say they're on the same level as how I feel about Legends of Dragoon. Yeah. And I know not everybody likes Legends of Dragoon. PlayStation
We're not going to get into that flame war.
1, but it's my all-time favorite game. So it was, you know, having the first Horizon, oh my god, it was perfect. And then, but then I wouldn't have been able to play the second one. Yeah. Which I ended up not buying the second one, but I was given...
So funny.
Huh?
That's so funny. Right?
Well, what it was is, so, my... Silver Mario, that's his gamer tag, I guess. I don't know what to put there, but beep. Okay. He ended up getting it, and he let me borrow it for like 8 months. I still didn't get to finish it in that time frame because we ended up having to move.
Right.
But I mean, you literally have single-handedly made my Christmas and birthday better in the last couple of years because you've thought about that for me. And you even got me something for Mother's Day.
Did I?
Yes, you did. You got me chocolates.
Oh yeah, I did get your chocolates for Mother's Day. I
Because
tried to lie and say they were from Jen, but you knew they were from me.
I like it's nothing against Jen, so please don't nobody get irritated with him.
Yeah, or with her for blaming him.
He literally is.
We love him.
We love him, but his ability to remember what tomorrow's date is, let alone a holiday.
He's just stoned. He can't help it.
Yeah, I can't help it. But he doesn't do anything bad. Let's just it's not him trying to be mean or
Right.
rude. It's just how he is.
Right.
But yeah, so you got me that, and I was like stoked. And so when you got me the God of War Ragnarok, I had to replay the God of War 2019 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I was able to play that. But now we've moved.
Yeah.
I have looked all over this house. I know it's here. It is somewhere in this house is the game, and I have time to play it for once.
You can't find it.
Can't find it
Yeah.
anywhere.
But kind of seamlessly segueing out of that.
That was a very good, seamlessly
Yeah. Anyway, into one of my top 3 Christmases of all time. Strangely enough, was the last. Well, no, not the last, but the second to last year I was married. Before all this, the nonsense ended up happening. When I got my PS5, it was one of the closest feelings to being a kid again on Christmas that I had had in a very, very long time. Getting the PS5 for Christmas, it just made my year, and it made up for all the nonsense I had to go through that year, and the next one for that matter.
Is that the one you spent with us?
No, that was the one before I spent with you guys.
Okay.
That was the one right before the divorce stuff started happening.
I would say that one was almost as good too, but not as like memorable. But in a way, it was because you were a part of the family, which you were before, but you were really like a part of the family.
That one, and it was a good Christmas for that. But I wouldn't say it's top 3. I think this one might be pretty freaking good. But kind of just going off that, because that's not a very long tangent. I should say it was a very... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
It was a very good one. We had breakfast. We had some hot cocoa bombs. We had a good time. We had lots of fun. It was sunny and warm, too, somehow.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I was outside in a t-shirt again. But moving on...
Well, I had 2...
Go ahead.
So... these were quicker by far. I will say yes, having a kid on Christmas definitely is in the top there. It was also fairly miserable on my part though too.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons. So that would be actually probably my number 1 Christmas ever, just because that's when I first became a mom.
Yeah.
And they had actually decent food at the hospital because it was Christmas. So, kill 2 birds, get a baby.
Yeah.
The last Christmas that was, or the third one for me, was the last Christmas when my grandmother was still alive. Which I know sounds very sad. But it was so festive.
Hang on. Okay, go ahead.
It was so festive. We had family from all over. And we went to 2 things for families. We had the one that was my mother's side of the family, and we had the other being my dad's. And my great-grandpa, who was a World War II vet, was there. And his, 1,900 children. He had, 12. Anyways. And all the grandkids, cousins, everything were there. And then the same for my mom's side of the family. They were all together. So there was just a big mix of seeing everybody. And I think that's the last time I actually did see all of my family. My grandmother held the glue together, and so did my great grandpa. So on each side of my family, the people that held things together passed. And since then, nobody. My dad does some stuff, and last year my Uncle Pumpkin died. But he tried to do the same thing that great grandpa did, you know? But it was just a great experience seeing and being with all of the family. So I think that would have to be in the third. I'm done now.
Gotcha. Give me 1 second here. Gotcha, and that makes sense. I understand. It's weird because, one of my favorite Christmases, also, again, seamlessly segueing into one of mine. The big one for me was there was one year in particular at my grandparents' house. I was still very young by this point, and I don't particularly know why this one's so memorable to me, other than the fact that there was so much family there. I mean, I was surrounded by family on my mom's side, and I got some good gifts that year. Nothing too crazy and out the way. I remember I got some cool toys. I think I got a couple video games. I don't really remember exactly what I got, what all I got. I remember I got some Gundam toy, which I thought was really cool. It was like a big Gundam ship with like some of the Zaku enemies or whatever. I remember that, and then I remember, because this is why I remember this Christmas so much. It was the big gift. My grandpa got me a Fender bass guitar.
Nice.
And it was a $2,000 fucking guitar. And I had never really been the biggest like musical like guy, and I never really learned how to play the damn thing. But it would have been nice to be able to learn how to play it. Things ended up happening. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what happened with it. Part of it's because it's partially not my story to tell fully. And secondly, because I don't want to make this about
bad thing.
Make this a whole thing, yeah. And I don't really want to shun or shame or cause any issues with anybody. I just want to say that it was a memorable Christmas. It was really cool. Some shit happened. It is what it is. Life moves on. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm not pent up or hung up about it. I will say that I do remember that because I remember me and my two cousins each got an instrument. I got a Fender bass. I don't know what else to call him, so I'll just call him Joey. Got a fucking drum set. And Sarah got a 6-string electric guitar.
Nice.
And it was cool. It was just a cool Christmas. And I don't know, I just remember it very vividly because I'm surrounded by family, and I'm pretty sure somewhere around here I have pictures from that Christmas.
I get it with the instruments thing. I got a clarinet one year because I'm actually pretty proficient in that. I played all throughout high school, some in college. Like it was a big deal to get one. They're expensive.
Resist the urge to make a joke.
No, you don't stick it up anyone's.
No, you're very proficient at blowing. I get it. Anyway. Wow. You said it, not me.
Anyways, I was gonna ask you, do you have a favorite gift you've ever gotten?
Ooh, that's a toughie.
I know. I can think of only one that beats everything, being the kid.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
That's cheating, so I'm trying to think of other gifts.
I'm trying to think because I can name you some of my top gifts. I can't necessarily put them all. I can't put one necessarily above the rest. I can put some above others, but I think I can give you a list of my top
Give me a
gifts.
list.
The PS5 being one of them. And then in more recent years, I'll say the top two in the most recent years have been the PC that I got and the PS5. Those are like the top of more recent years. Though I will say the PS5 would tops the PC, and I think the PS5 is the only one that comes close to topping any childhood gifts that I got. So much so that I would say it's in the top, but not necessarily top like 5 or 3. I vividly remember getting Pokemon Crystal for Christmas one year. That's definitely top of my list. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Pretty sure I got Dragon Ball Z Budokai for Christmas one year, which of course is top. It was my first foray into Dragon Ball video games, and it really got me more deeper and deeper into the series. I got Pokemon Stadium 2 for Christmas one year. That was definitely top of the list. As I'm trying to think, because I remember certain gifts very vividly. I remember one year I got, this was a good year. I got a couple of Dragon Ball Z action figures. I got a Kid Goku and a TN, and it was a very themed year for me. And then I got this, the gift that stands out to me the most from that one is, there was, those plug and play games with a little unique little like joystick that you plugged up with the yellow and the white.
Yeah.
Got a Dragon Ball Z one of those.
Nice.
And it was super cool, super fun, and I played the hell out of it. And that was up there.
Ow.
Like I said, the first several with like the Pokemon stuff obviously was hard to top. Getting Crystal, getting Stadium 2. And I believe I got Red it was either Christmas or my birthday that I got Red. My first Pokemon game. But yeah, no, there was, actually, I think I got the Game Boy for Christmas. And, it was my Game Boy that, you know what? My best gift I've ever gotten. My Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. Best gift I ever got, hands down, period. Because it led me down the path of becoming the gamer that I am today. Sure, we had a Sega Genesis, and I think we may have even already had a Nintendo 64. Could be wrong about that, but I know we had the Sega Genesis. But it was that Game Boy Color that really put me down the path of, I love video games, I love Pokemon, it kind of pushed me towards anime. And I'd have to say that was probably the best gift I ever got for Christmas. I could be misremembering or forgetting about some things, but I'm pretty sure that beats them all.
I 100% I can understand that. I too got the Game Boy Yellow, the Pikachu one, for Christmas one year. But I actually have a couple unique ones that Christmas gifts that I got that I think are definitely worth the mention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just had him in my head too. That's the sad part. ADHD is plaguing me today.
Right.
Okay, so I got the PlayStation 1 for Christmas.
Oh God. What a lovely console, by the way.
You know what? I love the fact that, we have what we have today, but there is nothing that will ever beat me opening up that present
Anything between
for gaming.
PS1, I'll say PS2 prior, like the games will never be that cool again. Like they've got their cool own things that they do now, and they're obviously much more technologically advanced. But there's nothing as cool. There will never be anything as cool as the PS2, PS1, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Like, there's nothing going to be as cool as like the Nintendo 64, any of that shit, basically, from that era.
What I'm super glad about is the fact that I was able to be a part of that era.
I lived through that, and I grew up with that, and now I get to experience the cool stuff as well from today's day and age.
But
Sorry.
So that was another one that was really good for me, and then oh god, I just had it in my brain again. It was really cool. What was it? I got PlayStation. I got the Game Boy.
Oh, I got Pokemon cards one year too. The starter deck.
Yeah. This one was like really cool though. Oh man, I hate when that happens to me.
You forget shit.
Because like I literally, as we were talking this last thing, I was like, remember this, because it was neat that you got it. I mean, I got a lot of cool shit. I got
toys.
when I was really young. But things like, oh, I got my first manga at Christmas time. That was pretty neat. And I got so this is telling, because they no longer allow this in the U.S. and haven't for a couple decades. I got the subscription to Shoujo Beat magazine. That was one. But no, this was, what was it? I really, really was like, this is cool. And I wanted to share it. Now I can't remember it. I'll try to remember it, and if I just be like, oh, I remember,
yeah,
we'll go. But, what is your favorite holiday food?
Well, okay, so favorite holiday food. I'll answer, and then I also have another question for you.
Okay, that's fine.
So my favorite holiday food, that's tough. I mean, because pretty much anything I've ever eaten at Christmas was just a remade Thanksgiving.
Excuse me.
Not reheated, but like...
I don't make the same thing for Christmas.
My family always just made the same shit, basically. Though, if I had to say, I mean, obviously hot cocoa, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's tough because we never really had anything specifically for Christmas that we ever really ate. I would say, I mean, yeah, I really can't think of anything specifically that we ever had that was just for Christmas as opposed to, like any other kind of feast. Like when my family, when we did do, holiday meals, like we'd always go to my grandmother's or my aunt's or whatever. We'd have a spread, like turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole. So I would think, just probably just, the turkey, because my dad could make a mean turkey,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd make mean turkey sandwiches, for weeks after. So, like I said, it's usually we just had like a re-Thanksgiving typically. But the question I had to ask for you is, and I'm going to answer this one I'm going to answer this one as well myself. Is what is a gift that you got that is just super memorable to you? Not so much for you getting a gift that you really, really wanted, but a gift that surprised you, that you were not expecting, and were just like, huh, I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I did. I vividly remember one year asking for, because I was big into Power Rangers as a kid, and I asked for a Megazord toy. And what I got was this big action figure Megazord toy. And I got this tiny little, like, miniature Megazord. Didn't move or nothing like that. But it was like a Tamagotchi in its chest. And it had, like, little games or whatever. And I was, like, pleasantly surprised. I know at first I was kind of getting frustrated with it because I couldn't figure out how to work it. But once I figured it out, I don't know why that has stuck with me so long. Why that particular gift has stuck with me for so long. Probably because in hindsight, too, I realized I had offended my mom. Because I'm pretty sure she got it for me. And it was from Santa. And so I was like, when I was frustrated, I was like, this is stupid. Why did Santa get me this? You know, because I was a kid and I thought that it was hard and I was upset.
You know, your parents didn't ruin the magic like...
No. I
like,
ruined the magic for myself.
Like some people ruin their magic for their kids.
You know that year I said...
Jen.
You know that year I said about the Dragon Ball Z action figures and I got the plug-and-play Dragon Ball Z game?
Yeah.
That was the year I found out that Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
That's the year I heard my grandparents bringing gifts out of their bedroom and putting it under the tree.
Wow. I was making a joke about how my loving husband...
We know. Yeah, he ruined the magic. I was just saying, I ruined it for myself.
Everybody ruins, I think, for themselves eventually.
Yeah.
But for me, that's the thing. I had one, and I can't remember what
that was the gift you were going to say, huh?
Yes. And it was really important. And so I've been trying to rack my brain this whole time when we're talking, like, what was I going to say? Because it was pretty cool. But I will say one gift that I got that I didn't think I'd like. So I crochet, but somebody in my family didn't realize, like, what crochet was. I don't know why. They just didn't, okay? And instead bought me a cross-stitch, beginner's cross-stitch thing. And I was, like, really, really, like, into it. And did a bunch of crosswords after, or not crosswords, cross-stitches things for a long while after that. But yeah, like, I didn't think I'd like cross-stitching because it's tedious, you know?
Then again, so is crocheting.
Crocheting you can do anything while doing. I can watch a movie and crochet at the same time. Okay? With cross-stitch, you have to focus because you're putting things, like, numerated into a slot.
Yeah.
And then you have to pull it out.
Giggity.
I know, right? You have to pull the strings through and make sure they don't get tangled and all this other stuff. So it was, like, a lot of work. And I was like, why would somebody get this for me? I asked for crochet stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that I really liked it.
She was presently supplied. I got laser tag one year.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a home at home kit. What was it?
I remember.
What was it?
Going to see, and don't at me, anybody, because there's a reason why this was really, really good for me. I got to see Episode 7, Star Wars, in theaters. I then got to see Rogue One in theaters, and these were both out at Christmas time. And I get that there's a lot of controversial stuff, but for me, getting to go, like, basically opening day as one of my Christmas presents was just fantastic.
I will say I don't necessarily count that as Christmas for me because we didn't go on Christmas.
I went Christmas Day, or not, was it Christmas Eve or whatever? It
we
came
didn't
out
go.
late.
I don't remember. I don't think it was Christmas. I don't know when it was specifically. I know me and Dad went. That if I want to consider that a Christmas gift, that definitely is in the top. I believe I paid for the tickets, but it was the fact that as a grown man, never expecting episode 7 to come out, getting to relive the experience of going to see Star Wars in theaters with my father again. Oh God, it was such a great day.
I took the Sprout. Mm-hmm. He was October baby. He sat there quietly the whole time, just watching episode 7, like enthralled.
One of my favorite pictures I've ever taken is me and Dad, like, walking to the theater.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was a Christmas present. I do know that. Before my stepdad became a loser, he actually went with us and was like really excited. And that's what we did for like years for Christmas for him and I, was go see a movie.
Yeah.
So, but it was just, everything was perfect.
Down to the last detail.
And I'm talking about for Christmas, not necessarily for the movie, because there's just some things. But the point being is, it was a perfect Christmas thing. And then the next year, I went and saw Rogue One. Or was Rogue One before? No.
Rogue One was the next one.
And I saw that also. But I didn't get to see that opening day. I got to see that on Christmas with him. So that was really cool. And again, the Sprout, who was 1 year old, sat there stupid quiet watching the whole thing with us.
Right.
And that was just great because, babies don't always work good in theaters. And I had heard people grumbling, oh God, there's a child in here. Only time he ever cried in either of the movies, when the do the spook jump thing.
Spook jump, huh?
Yeah, spooky jump.
Okay.
I jumped and I squeezed him a little bit, and he cried. But it's done and over.
Shaken baby syndrome.
But yeah, I mean that's following the fact that my dad took me to go see it, the episode 1.
Yep.
And then follow me taking my son to see it. And I get it. He was too young to know, but it's the fact that I was able to, and he, enjoyed it. You could tell. Yeah. That's Christmas love right there.
Yeah. See, for me, getting to go there to see it with my dad was just such a magical experience. I just didn't count it as a Christmas gift because it wasn't Christmas when we went, nor was it Christmas Eve.
It was Christmas Eve for Rogue One. I think it was just opening day, but it was my Christmas present.
We also did go see Rogue One together, but again, not Christmas or Christmas Eve. But yeah, I could sit here and ramble on all day about gifts that I got that I loved, and kind of just recount everything that I enjoyed. You have something you want to add?
Kind of, but I'll wait till you... Are you getting ready to get off?
I was getting ready to wrap it up.
Okay, one last thing. I asked you about Christmas foods.
Uh-huh. Oh, right.
So, how do you feel about when I make Christmas food?
I don't know what you make differently.
Well, one, I do make ham and instead of turkey. And I change out stuff. Like, I don't make the same exact thing for Christmas.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I just know that the last Christmas we had, we didn't eat. We went to, Jen's mom's house.
Yeah, that's true. But I know I made it the year before. And it wasn't my second-rate turkey. It was
oh my God.
Definitely.
So should we tell that story?
I would love to tell that story.
Please tell the story, and then we're gonna wrap it up with this. We're gonna end this episode with a little anecdote from was it Thanksgiving or
It was not this last
Christmas?
one, last Thanksgiving, 2024. It was
2023?
2023's Thanksgiving.
Was Thanksgiving? Okay, yeah. And then, but it continued on into Christmas because
We are assholes.
actually wasn't it Christmas? Because I remember us driving home that day.
We didn't go, you and I, because I was sick and you had made plans to do something, if I remember correctly.
Was that the case? No, but because I remember us driving home from there.
We didn't go.
I remember vividly us driving home from that house.
His sister's house?
No, from his mother's.
No, his sister. He went to his sister's.
But he didn't tell us until, I think it was Christmas. It was last Christmas, I think. Because they had some leftovers, or something, and he had told you about the turkey.
He took the sprout to his sister's for Thanksgiving. You had to work, and I didn't feel good.
I swear, because I vividly remember us coming home from his mother's house.
Yeah, on Christmas.
Giving him a hard time about it. That's when we invented the term silver dollar.
No. I know why. So, no, he went to his sister's for Thanksgiving, didn't say anything. And then I was going to make the turkey
Right.
for Christmas because his mom asked me to.
And you
she
did
gave
make
me,
the turkey.
yeah, because she gave me the turkey and I made the turkey.
Right.
And I was like, I'm making my famous turkey. Everybody says it's the best. And then he goes, well.
Was this, no, but didn't this happen, didn't we find out on Christmas?
We found out Christmas.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. The situation happened at Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Tell the viewers.
I'm giving it
the
to
whole
him.
story.
So, okay. I am a very good cook. I will toot my horn any day on that one. And Jen, since he's been with me, has always said everything I've made basically has been his favorite version of it. With exception to like some of the things that his mom makes that I just don't make, or his sister's macaroni, things like that. He's always said my turkey was his favorite. So when I went to go make the turkey, I was like, yeah, I'm about to make my your favorite turkey, and he goes, well, and I go, what do you mean, well? He goes, so it's not my favorite turkey. What? I had the best turkey I've ever had in my life at my sister's. And I'm, what do you mean? He goes, well, how did he say it? Was it yours just wasn't up to par?
It was, he said something, it was like, not that I don't like yours or yours isn't good or something like that. And it was
but
this was out of this world. It can't be beat. Or it was something to the effect of him trying to say that you're good, but he's better.
Yeah, and then but he wasn't thinking about how he said it
because it's Jen.
And he said it was something like, well, it's definitely second place.
It's my second favorite.
It's my second.
That's
favorite.
what it was.
So since then, and this has been 2 years.
No, this will be this will be the first full year.
Has it been the first full year?
Because it was last Christmas.
Was it?
Yes.
Anyways, whenever I go to make a holiday meal now, even if I don't make turkey for it.
Hell, holiday meal. Anytime you make just about anything and you think about it, you're like, at least it's better than my second best turkey.
Right.
Runner-up turkey. Silver medal turkey.
And you do the same though too.
He hates it because we will not stop giving him shit about it.
To the point
because he feels bad.
We have literally this holiday season since right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times.
It's been a daily thing, I'm pretty
It's
sure.
almost been a daily thing where in fact, after this, I'm gonna call him and be like,
ask him if he wants your second-rate turkey or your first-place ham.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what? Actually, I kind of want you to call him on the podcast.
We can do that.
Go ahead, do it.
All right. Let me see if he'll even answer.
I'll edit out if he says any other names or whatever, because he's not gonna. Don't tell him we're recording him.
I got you.
Hey, I'm on a delivery at the moment. What's up?
Well, I just need we're about to go shopping, and I need to make a plan for next week. Do you want my second place turkey or my first place ham for Christmas?
I swear to God. I'll yell at you later, should I? Fucking ham.
Okay.
Say hello. Say hello to the viewers, by the way.
I love.
Bye.
Bye. Ignore my coughing. I haven't been feeling good, but that is perfect.
So he said, "Fucking ham."
He said first place ham. Fucking first place ham.
Funny. He's so. Yeah, I think he's actually mad because you called him for that at work.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll have to apologize and make it up to him. But with that, I think now is the best place to leave it. And
With my second place
with your
turkey.
second place turkey. We will talk to you all in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.